Kansas City's news leader. This is breaking news from KMBC 9.
We're following breaking news out of Kansas City, Missouri right now. A large police response for a shooting in the city's historic Northeast neighborhood. This is unfolding near North Bales and Windsor Avenues. We are learning that this is a shooting involving police. We do have a crew headed to the scene right now, and we're going to bring you updates throughout this newscast as soon as we learn more. Also breaking at noon, we do have an update on the push to operate an ICE detention facility in Leavenworth. This morning, the Kansas Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the city. That ruling will uphold the district court order to require CoreCivic to obtain a special use permit in order to operate the detention center to hold ICE detainees. The permit would require CoreCivic to comply with all local regulations designed to protect the community, and the future of the ICE detention center is now in the hands of the Leavenworth City Commission. Tuesday night, commissioners advanced the plans to move forward in a 4-1 vote. That final vote is possible March 10th. Meanwhile, in Wyandotte County, the Unified Government County Commissioners voted unanimously to delay action on a 2-year moratorium on new detention facilities in the county. Commissioners want more time to discuss what that would entail. They're going to take this up again in April. So we will continue to follow developments on ICE detention centers in the area. For now, though, we do want to thank you for joining us at noon. I'm Jamie Weiss here with First Alert meteorologist Nick Bender. There's a lot to talk about in the weather department, but we got to start with the fact that we've got red flag warnings today.
We do. The fire conditions are high for today. It's dry. It's very warm. It's windy. We already detected several smaller grass fires on satellite, so none getting out of hand yet. But as the wind continues to increase through the day, any fires that are burning could get out of hand quickly. So I'd recommend no burning today when the winds will gust up to 20 to 30 miles per hour over the next few hours. Dew point values in the low 30s, so relative humidity very low. Typically the benchmark for a fire weather day is relative humidity less than 30%, and I have that right now with a lot of sunshine, and it is 67 degrees with room to run. 70s in Odessa, Warrensburg 73 in Harrisonville, and Belton 70 in Lacine, 71 in Garnett. Again, the wind will continue to increase over the next several hours. You look at the 12-hour forecast for today in Kansas City, wind gusts between 20 and 25 miles per hour, perhaps 30 miles per hour through about 3 o'clock, and then the wind will gradually die down closer to sunset with the temperatures falling into the 60s for this evening. So another mild evening in Kansas City after we make a run at a record high temperature this afternoon. Saturday, I want to emphasize this, will be dry. It'll be warm, it'll be sunny, and it'll be windy on Saturday. Highs 50s and 60s. The real day of change is our impact day on Sunday into Sunday night. Widespread rain and eventually a wintry mix are likely, and that wintry mix would be a combination of freezing rain and sleet along with some snow. Again, I'm most focused on freezing rain and sleet having an impact on road conditions Sunday evening and Sunday night, and not so much snow. The pattern will remain active next week with bouts of rain and thunderstorms likely. Jamie.
Nick, thank you. We do want to get back out to that breaking news because there's a large police presence in Kansas City after a possible shooting involving police. We want to get right out to our Andy Alcock, who just arrived on the scene there near North Bales and Windsor Avenues. Andy, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Jamie, we do have an update from Sergeant Phil DiMartino with the Kansas City Police Department. He tells us 2 people were shot, and preliminary indications are a police officer was injured. He's heading to the scene, so we hope to get more of an update later. What we also know, too, is that there was some kind of a funeral that was taking place here, and you can see the white hearses in front of a church. It's about half a block or so from our location here at Indiana and Windsor. A KCPD officer did confirm there was a funeral taking place there. You can see a lot of the police officers are over there right now. We don't know if that is the reason this particular situation unfolded, but we are certainly looking to get additional answers as time goes by. Again, from what we know now, 2 people injured as well as a police officer. 2 people shot, a police officer injured. We don't know the condition of any of those people at this point. We will certainly be here throughout the day to kind of figure out what is going on here. But as you mentioned, a very large police presence as they have a couple of blocks perimeter, both north, south, east, and west, kind of blocking off this church area. And it looks like they have been speaking to people. We've also seen the Kansas City Fire Department here. We've seen a couple of ambulances, but we don't know the condition of any of these people who have been victimized in this particular incident. Reporting live in historic Northeast Kansas City, Andy Alcock, KMBC 9 News.
Andy, thank you. And of course, like Andy mentioned, we're going to continue to bring you updates on that story as soon as we get them. Well, time right now is 12:05. And if you are into the outdoors, the Missouri Big Buck and Outdoor Show is happening at Bartle Hall today through Sunday. That's where we find our Brittany Foster with what's in store for the weekend.
If you need weekend plans, consider heading to Bartle Hall for two big shows all about the outdoors. You can first attend the Missouri Big Buck and Outdoors Show, and on top of that, the KC Home and Garden Show this weekend. You can attend both with the same ticket. The Buck Show, which we're on the side of right now, is all about hunting and fishing. Visitors can buy new gear and attend hundreds of booths, enter into a competition. On top of that, of course, also chat with experts. On the other side of Bartle Hall, we have the Home and Flower Show, and of course, that is all about the latest trends in home improvements and also your lawn and garden. There's also hundreds of booths on that side, a butterfly exhibit. You can enter into contests and even win a little bit of money. So plenty of options for things to do. Again, two big shows. You can get in with the same ticket, and here's the information for you. They're open today until 8 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tickets for adults are $15, and kids 16 and younger are free. At Bartle Hall, Brittany Foster, KMBC 9 News.
A big venue in town is now more inclusive. This morning, the T-Mobile Center unveiled a new sensory room designed to support guests who may experience sensory overload at large events. The space will offer a calm, supportive environment for people of all ages and abilities attending concerts and games. Leaders from Variety KC and the T-Mobile Center hope that more major venues will become more inclusive. It's been a year of orange cones, construction equipment, and disruptions in Old West Lawrence, and locals aren't out of the woods quite yet. The city says they plan to hit the finish line next year around this time. Engineers say nearly half of the Jayhawk Watershed project is finished. Crews have completed work at 8th in Tennessee, and now they are working at 8th in Louisiana and 9th from Indiana to Louisiana to replace sanitary sewers and water mains, plus install new stormwater infrastructure. There's also been recent conversations about what to do during the World Cup.
There was some debate if we should pause and open 9th Street for the World Cup and then start again next year. And we did some outreach with the community and the businesses if they thought that was a good idea. Generally, the consensus was that wasn't a good idea. Let's just get it over with.
The city's project manager says crews are trying to minimize the impact of businesses by keeping the construction area small, only expanding when needed and keeping access available one way or another to local businesses. We know that 2026 is going to be a big year for soccer in the Metro. The World Cup is just 3 months away, but the MLS season has begun. KMBC 9's Martin Augustine spent the morning at Sporting Park and shows us how tomorrow's home opener got some good news this morning.
Sporting Kansas City kicks off tomorrow night, but there's some news breaking about the roster for Sporting Kansas City. That's why we're here with our friend Blake Arney. Blake, tell us who's coming and why you guys are so excited about it.
Yeah, the name Or Blorian, an Israeli center back for Sporting Kansas City. He'll be coming in post-World Cup break for SKC, and it's a position that Sporting Kansas City have really been focusing on. They've really known that the defense needs to improve. Last year, Sporting KC wasn't where they wanted to be defensively. This year, they're moving in to try and build on that, and Or Blorian's going to be a great piece to try and stop the other team from scoring.
But of course, the message here is patience. That's going to be a little bit. The roster as it's constructed now, what do you think? Who's maybe a standout that people should be looking for tomorrow night?
Absolutely. The name that comes to my mind, Dejan Joveljic. I mean, he scored 18 goals last year. He's coming off his best regular season in Major League Soccer after winning an MLS Cup a couple years ago with the LA Galaxy. He comes to Kansas City and just lights things up here at Sporting Park, scored so many goals. He's one of the most exciting strikers to watch in this league, so he's the guy that I have my eyes on.
All right, Blake Arney, the radio play-by-play announcer for Sporting Kansas City. Give me a little tease of what to look for tomorrow night and what to look forward to a few months down the road. Martin Augustine, KMBC 9 News.
A measure to tighten Kansas's Star Bonds program now heads to the state Senate. The House passed a bill on Thursday to extend the program through July of 2031. This would stop the use of state general fund money to cover project costs. This would also raise tourism requirements, with new projects required to draw more out-of-state and out-of-market visitors. There are 4 major projects underway right now that are using Star Bonds here in the Metro: the Mattel theme park out in Bonner Springs, the new American Royal Complex in KCK, and the new major projects for the Chiefs, that new stadium in Kansas City, Kansas, as well as a new practice facility and headquarters in Olathe. How young is too young for makeup? The concern for parents and how you can keep your child safe. Plus, it's the off-season for the NFL, which means it's time for players to grade their teams. We'll show you where the Chiefs are in need of some improvement, according to the guys on the field.
Your source for First Alert Weather and News Chopper 9, Kansas City's news leader, KMBC 9 News.
We are following that breaking news out of Kansas City, Missouri right now. There is a large police presence right now for a shooting in the city's historic Northeast neighborhood. We're taking a look at live pictures on the left side of your screen. This is all happening near North Bales and Windsor Avenues. KCPD tells us 2 people were shot and an officer was injured in the process. It is unknown how that officer was injured at this time, but our crew, as you can see, is here on the scene working to get more answers right now. We're going to check in with our Andy Alcock coming up at 12:30. Now to an issue facing more parents these days. Young children, long before they hit their teen years, are asking to wear makeup. Here's ABC's Hannah Battah.
The debate over how young is too young for makeup. According to the Wall Street Journal, cosmetic companies are increasingly marketing their products to children born after 2010. But it's not just young teenagers turning to makeup, it's kids 6 years old or younger.
These kids are growing up watching Get Ready With Me videos, skincare routines, and Sephora hauls on YouTube and TikTok. And of course, they see their mothers, older siblings, influencers, and mimicry is developmentally normal at this age.
Brands such as Clean Naturals, which sells low pigment makeup aimed at children between 5 and 7 years old, says they've seen significant growth since 2024. And skincare company Ever Eden, which markets moisturizers and other skincare products for kids as young as 3, reported about $100 million in annual sales.
For some families, it really is framed as dress up, self-expression, or even bonding time. But many experts are worried about that appearance obsession, anti-aging messaging trickling down.
As for skincare routines, while manufacturers insist their products prioritize safety and wellness over anti-aging, many medical experts and parents worry early exposure to skincare regimens could foster a premature obsession with physical appearance.
Ask your kids, why do they want this makeup? What do they like about it? Is it just to be creative, or is it something deeper? Is it tied to their self-worth? And then you have to also set boundaries. Decide, if this is something that is special occasions only, or if you're going to let your child wear it daily, or if it's something that just happens during playtime at home.
Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
We do have a traffic alert for Liberty drivers. Downtown travel is going to be a little more restricted thanks to a closure that starts today. Crews are permanently closing Missouri Street south of Kansas Street to begin work on a police facility expansion at City Hall. Hours at City Hall will stay the same during construction, but the utility payment drop box is moving. It'll now be at the northeast corner of Missouri and Kansas Streets. Well, you can get just about anything through a subscription service, like steaks, wines, clothes, even books.
This is really trying to spread the love, and we're trying to just be a cultural exchange in a box, basically.
Charmaine Merriweather is the founder and CEO of Hughes Book Box, a subscription book company. While there are others out there, Hughes stands out from the rest, focusing on BIPOC authors, writers who are Black, Indigenous, or other people of color. Merriweather says she's meeting a need.
Basically, if there were 100 books that they were offering, about 5 would have main characters that were even people of color, any brown and Black people, right? And most of those books tended to only be like New York Times bestsellers.
How Hughes Book Box is elevating lesser-known authors and the founder's inspiration that keeps her going. That's tonight on KMBC 9 News at 6. Swing by the Kansas City Golf Show at the Overland Park Convention Center this weekend to see if you can step up your game on the green. The show runs today through Sunday. This is more than just a golf gear showcase. You can try out equipment, attend panels, and even compete in events like the Straightest Drive Challenge or the Putting Championship. Today's hours are 11 to 5. Single-day tickets are $17.50, but 3-day passes are also available. We are down to the final 2 days of free February at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. That means you're running out of time to see a Kansas City, Missouri treasure for free, all courtesy of the Royals Foundation. This is the 5th year of that partnership. The Royals Foundation covers the cost of admission throughout Black History Month. The Negro Leagues Baseball Museum tells the story of the only league Black players were allowed to participate in for decades. Hours today and tomorrow are 10 to 5. The NFL Combine is underway, and some Mizzou Tigers took to the field yesterday.
Zion Young's quads.
Let's go. Here we go.
He is powerful.
Mizzou's Zion Young showed off his skill in the position drills. He did not compete in the 40-yard dash, bench press, or vertical and broad jumps. Mizzou defensive tackle Chris McClellan and Josiah Trotter took part in yesterday's combine, as did Texas A&M's Cassius Howell from Rockhurst. And place kickers, defensive linemen, and linebackers are on the field yesterday. So the combine continues today. Tight ends and defensive backs will take the field this afternoon. Tomorrow, we'll see quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. Then Sunday, the O-linemen will wrap things up. The NFL Players Association report card is out, and despite an effort to keep it from going to the public, players are able to rank which teams offer the best facilities, coaching staffs, and more. And once again, the Chiefs didn't fare very well. According to ESPN, the Chiefs ranked 27th on the list, scoring an F in their locker room, a D- in team travel, and a C+ in offensive coordinator and team ownership. It is worth noting there is a change at OC for next season. The Chiefs did score well in some areas, though, including an A for head coach and defensive coordinator, and an A- for nutritionist and home game field. MLB spring training is more about seeing what a team has rather than wins or losses, and the Royals are on a 4-game win-less streak, but they are seeing some strong performances from the young players.
Here's the 1-1, and Jensen hits it well into right center field. Back goes Barossa at the wall, and that's gone.
Carter Jensen with a big blast in the 5th inning. He was 3 for 3 on the day. The Royals had an 8-0 lead in the top of the 5th, but wasn't enough. The Royals lose 13-10 to Arizona. Today, the Royals get to take on the Athletics. First pitch from Surprise is set for 2:05 this afternoon. Want to focus on the weather back here at home, though, because, Nick, we have so many changes in store for us.
We do. There's that high fire danger for today. It'll stay dry, warm, and windy today. Dry, warm, and windy on Saturday. So I want to make that very clear. No impacts anticipated on Saturday. Sunday is our big day of change. It's our impact day, and the most likely time for a wintry mix, that would be freezing rain, sleet, and even the potential of a little bit of snow, is late Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. So Sunday morning, mainly dry, but late Sunday afternoon to Sunday evening, the chance of rain mixing or changing over entirely to freezing rain, sleet, and a little bit of snow is most likely. And that could lead to impacts on the roads during that time, Sunday evening into Sunday night. Now, the ground and the roads are going to be really warm heading into Sunday, and the temperatures Sunday afternoon may actually stay just above freezing. So we have a lot going for us to help prevent widespread, icy roads Sunday evening into Sunday night. Not entirely out of the woods for impacts early Monday morning with leftover slick spots as temperatures will drop below freezing Sunday night and Monday morning. And most of next week looks wet and stormy, so rain and thunderstorms. And at this time, the severe risk is low on any day, but it's a risk that we're going to monitor closely. Now that it's going to be March next week, thunderstorm chances start to increase in March. We like to really focus on the potential of strong severe storms during that time of the year. Wind gusts about 20 to 25 miles per hour for the rest of the afternoon, making a run at a daily record high temperature today. Widespread highs in the 60s and 70s, and then that wind will die down after sunset, remaining mild overnight with temperatures in the 40s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, 68 degrees and sunny, so another warm, sunny, dry day. And then Sunday is our impact day. 27 degrees in the morning, but not anticipating any precipitation to begin in the morning. 41 in the afternoon. This is going to be a game of temperature. A few degrees difference here or there will result in freezing rain, sleet, or snow, what could be just over the course of a county. So this is Sunday afternoon into early Sunday evening. This is the time of greatest question as far as what type of precipitation will be falling. I think a wintry mix. And then after 6 o'clock in the evening on Sunday into very early Monday morning, the most likely type of precipitation is going to be light freezing rain, sleet, which is ice pellets, and some light snow. This should end by sunrise on Monday, but if there's any leftover slick spots, that could certainly have an impact on the drive and your school routine. And then the rest of the week, especially Tuesday and Wednesday, additional impact days. Rain and storms are likely on both days, and it looks like it stays, wet and stormy through the end of next week as well. So we'll deal with that when we get to it. Just know that it's going to be wet and stormy next week. Ice potential. By 6 o'clock in the evening on Sunday, that's when we could start to see a glaze of ice. I mean, that's tiny, 1/100th of an inch. Overnight to early Monday morning, we might add a few 100ths. Now, that could be enough, again, to cause some slick spots. Snowfall. I don't think this is going to be a snowstorm, but there could be some minor snow accumulations along and north of Interstate 70, including Kansas City, less than an inch of snow. And then across far northern Missouri, we may receive, an inch to perhaps an inch and a half or 2 inches Sunday evening overnight. So again, you get that theme there. Sunday evening into Sunday nights, the most likely time or the peak time for wintry weather. That's the time when the roads could become slick in some spots. Next week, wet and stormy. We'll monitor the potential of severe weather, especially next Tuesday and Wednesday. Jamie.
All right, thanks for the heads up, Nick. Well, a massive Consignment Sale and Lease Summit with deals up to 80% off. We will show you how to shop smart and when to go for the best bargains. It is a big bargain weekend in Lee's Summit. The Just Between Friends consignment sale kicks off today. It is happening at the Pavilion at John Knox Village. More than 600 consigners are selling their clothes. Some deals list items up to 80% off. It is the 20th year for this event.
Hugely important. I've done this since my kids were little, and I sell and I come in and buy them new clothes every year.
Every time they say thank you for being here and supplying this for their families and a way for them to make some extra money in their pocket.
The sale runs through Sunday. It is free to get in and runs all day long. Sunday, all items are half off. Well, ahead at noon, a Blue Springs gym loses its membership with USA Gymnastics. The Gage Center has produced international level athletes, why they'll have to go somewhere else to keep competing. And we are continuing to follow that breaking news after a shooting in Kansas City's historic Northeast neighborhood. When we come back, we'll check in with our Andy Alcock with an update from the scene. We want to get back out to that breaking news. 2 people have been shot and an officer is injured after a shooting in the historic Northeast neighborhood. Let's get back out to our Andy Alcock, who has been live on the scene for about 30 minutes. Andy, what are you learning right now? Anything new?
Yeah, Jamie, we have seen Officer Phil DiMartino just showed up a short time ago. He's going to give us some more information about what happened. Take a look behind and you can see the concentration of all the police presence at this point is in front of a church. And from what we understand, as you mentioned, 2 people shot, an officer injured. We don't know the condition of any of those people, including the officer. Let's take a look at some video we shot earlier of Police Chief Stacy Graves. She just came here to the scene a short while ago. We saw her comforting an officer. We don't know if that is the injured officer or not. We're still trying to find out that information. We also know that it apparently this is centered right by where there was a funeral at this church. Now, we've learned that this church is Melrose Methodist Church. We are in historic Northeast. This was founded in 1888 by Nathan Scarrett. This is Scarrett Point, a neighborhood named after him. The building behind us was built in 1928, so almost 100 years ago. And we have seen that there are cones on the steps of that church. We have another photographer on the east side of the building getting video for us as well. So we're waiting further word from KCPD about what happened here. There is a gathering taking place right now on the west side of the church, and we hope to have a little bit more information as time goes on. Again, 2 people shot, a police officer injured. We don't know the conditions of any of them at this point. Reporting live in Northeast Kansas City, Andy Alcock, KMBC 9 News.
Andy, thank you. And of course, we're going to stay on top of that story for you throughout the day. Well, the big thing I noticed, Nick, obviously we're getting a lot of information from Andy, but I noticed how windy it was in his live shot. We also know today is a red flag warning. Is that why? It's
an astute observation, Jamie. That's one of the reasons why. It's windy. It's often warm during red flag warnings. It's dry. There's not a lot of water vapor in the atmosphere, and it's also dry on the ground. You know, we still have drought. So all of those contribute to the red flag warning. The simple way to say it, it's a high fire danger for today. You know, the wind has picked up quite a bit over the last couple of hours. Gusts now over 20 miles an hour. Relative humidity is below 30%, which is the benchmark threshold, if you will, for red flag warnings. Relative humidity less than 30%. So that's telling us that there's not a lot of water vapor in the atmosphere near the ground, and it's very dry. So if a fire does start today, it could get out of hand quickly. Temperatures already in the low 70s in Garnett, Lacine, Belton, Harrisonville, Warrensburg, Marshall, and Odessa. We're going to make a run at a record high temperature for the day here in Kansas City right now in the upper 60s, but climbing into the low 70s over the next few hours. Winds will remain in that 20 to perhaps 30 mile an hour gust range through sunset, and then the winds will die down overnight through tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, I want to emphasize this, will be dry, warm, and windy. Not anticipating any wintry precipitation, any rain tomorrow. Tomorrow is still a dry day, but Sunday's impact day, that's the day of change. Widespread rain and then freezing rain, sleet, and snow, especially late Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. That's the peak time for the wintry mix. You know, it could even hold off until Sunday evening. You know, a lot depends on the temperature, which may stay above freezing for many communities during the day on Sunday. We'll continue with an active weather pattern next week, but too warm for wintry precipitation. Will be more focused on bouts of rain and thunderstorms. Jamie.
And I know we need the rain, so appreciate the update. Well, this afternoon, we want to get you prepared for Sporting Kansas City's home opener tomorrow night. KMBC 9's Martin Augustine shows us how a new manager is key to this new season.
A lot of new things for Sporting Kansas City here at the start of the season. Home opener tomorrow night, but perhaps most notably about those new things, a new manager taking the helm. We're here with Kirk Austin of Sporting Kansas City. Kirk, Rafa Wicki takes over, first new manager in a long time.
It is an incredibly exciting time for the club, but I think an incredibly exciting time for Rafa too, as he gets a chance to come out here to Sporting Park tomorrow night for the first time and experience the stadium in all its glory.
What have you kind of seen with Rafa Wicki and what he's kind of bringing to the organization?
He's got a really fresh perspective for the team. You saw that at the start of preseason. The team went down to Florida for a few weeks and then out to California for a couple weeks, and that was his chance to really start to implement his philosophy and how he wants the playing style to be for the team this year.
It's a big challenge though too, isn't it?
It is. He's got a lot of new faces on the team. He's got a roster that's turned over quite a bit from 2025. He had 13 players that departed, now 11 new players coming in. It's an exciting time for him, I think, as a coach to try to mold the group and shape the group as he wants to see it.
And he's got a brand new player you guys have just signed.
Or Belorian, just announced earlier this morning, player from Israel that will be joining the team this summer.
All right, that's Kirk Austin. Now, Orr's going to, as Kirk said, he's going to join a little bit later. He's in the middle of his current club season, but there are a lot of new faces on the team and more new faces to come. That should add to the excitement as well. Reporting from Sporting Kansas City Park, Martin Augustine, KBC 9 News.
A Blue Springs gym known for producing Olympians is now out of USA Gymnastics. The Great American Gymnastics Express, or Gage Center, has been suspended after years of misconduct allegations. The gym told parents on Wednesday that their membership was ended effective immediately. USA Gymnastics says leaders failed to follow suspension rules. Owner Al Fong was suspended in December for 5 years amid an investigation into verbal and physical abuse. 2 other owners were suspended this month. Suspended members are barred barred from associating with athletes, clubs, and they cannot go to events. We spoke with Mr. Fong when he was first suspended, and he denies any claims against him.
The allegations, I can say absolutely 100% are false. And that's why it's so bothersome. People that it's hurting the most are the athletes who are busy preparing for 2028.
Athletes have until Monday to register with a new club to be able to compete in USAG events. For now, the gym will stay open for recreational classes, but not competition teams. And there's no timeline for Gage to be reinstated. Kansas City's Mayor Pro Tem denies that she and her husband are the focus of an FBI investigation. A Kansas City news outlet made those allegations, citing anonymous sources. The report claims that Mayor Pro Tem Raina Park Shaw and the city's public works director, Michael Shaw, are under investigation. Park Shaw is running for mayor next year. At issue is a claim that Michael Shaw asked companies with pending city permit applications to contribute to his wife's campaign.
I will not allow such false and egregious accusations about me and my family to go unchecked. I have never leveraged my position for personal gain, nor would I ever compromise my integrity or ethical standards.
Park Shaw addressed the issue at a city council meeting Thursday, saying she has not been contacted by the feds over any accusations, but that she would cooperate fully. The city manager said he will not comment on external investigations, but the city manager's office did say they will conduct their own internal review.
Rain and a combination of freezing rain, sleet, and even snow are likely from Sunday afternoon through early Monday morning. I'll show you the peak times for wintry precipitation and when roads may become slick in your community.
Long-term construction in Lawrence has been causing headaches for a while, and now it's about halfway done. We'll show you why the city believes the payoff will be worth the pain of the project, especially when spring showers start to hit.
Your source for first alert weather and News Chopper 9, Kansas City's news leader, KMBC 9 News.
A massive stormwater project is reshaping Old Lawrence block by block. The Jayhawk Watershed project is now halfway complete, which means another year of impacts for homeowners and businesses in the area. KMBC 9's Rachel Ripp has an update.
7th and Tennessee in Lawrence looks like this when there's a big thunderstorm.
And that's been an ongoing problem for at least 100 years. It's not just the street flooding, but there's also the problem of the storm sewer on private property. So then it's like people wanted to expand their houses or remodel their houses, and it's like, well, you can't, the storm sewer's under your house, right? And they couldn't really use their property, but the city didn't have any defined right to have the storm sewer on their property.
But this is all changing because of the Jayhawk Watershed project. The construction has caused some temporary troubles for homeowners.
They haven't been able to access their houses from the street since, probably September, October.
And businesses.
We've tried many ways to try and minimize the impact. One is we've been communicating with them for over 2 years.
But project manager Nick Hoyt says it'll pay off in the long run. Speaking of pay, the $25 million makeover isn't just fixing the sanitary sewers, water mains, and stormwater infrastructure underneath. It'll also bring wider bike lanes, parking spaces, and ADA accessible sidewalks.
Right here we're going to put in a pedestrian beacon, and there is this pain that we're going through now, but in 10 years we're going to have this convention center, a hotel, we're going to have a new corridor down 9th Street, and I'm really excited about it.
Rachel Ripp, KMBC 9 News.
The city says its final completion date for contractors is March 31st of 2027. So they add another project called the KU Gateway Project is likely going to continue south in 2028, rebuilding Mississippi Street and continuing the new storm sewer up to the football stadium. A small business staple in Atchison for more than a century is selling its final groceries. We'll explain why one of the most tenured stores in the area is calling it quits. A local shelter has too many dogs to care for and not enough homes to send them to. We'll tell you how you can help without committing to inviting a new member to your family. We want to get back to that breaking news in Kansas City's historic Northeast neighborhood. This is video from Bales and Windsor Avenues right in front of the New Beginning Apostolic Church. Police tell us 2 individuals were shot and an officer was injured in the process. But right now, it is still unclear how that officer was injured. KMBC 9's Annie Alcock has been at the scene for us throughout the hour. We're going to have updates for you throughout the day, and you can look for updates on KMBC 9 News starting at 4 o'clock. A historic grocery store in Atchison, Kansas is set to close after more than a century in business. Van Dyke's Grocery first opened in 1906 and has served generations of local families. The owner says rising costs and competition from big chain stores has made it impossible to keep the business going. And now the store will close in 2 weeks.
I know everybody loves this place and as much as we do. And yeah, when you see some of those faces come around the corner and it really hits you that this could be the last time I see them, and you know, gonna miss their conversation.
Atchison once had dozens of family-owned corner stores like Van Dyke's, so this is truly the end of an era. Raytown's animal shelter is full, and the city is urging people to step in. Staff are currently caring for 25 dogs right now, with some waiting for months to find a home. Well, officials say you don't have to commit to adopting, fostering, or volunteering to make a big difference.
We would encourage fostering, so that would be the first step. It would also open up a kennel here, which means that we would be able to take in another dog, and that it also provides a dog a loving home, even if it's just for a short term.
If you are looking to foster or adopt, you can stop by Animal Services on East 63rd Street. Well, just over 2 weeks to go until the Kansas City Current open up the NWSL season at home. The 2025 Shield winners just wrapped up their preseason in California, and now they are back in town fine-tuning their play before the season begins. A few core players were traded in the offseason, so the starting 11 lineup is probably going to look a little bit different. But as fans notice changes on the pitch, the team says the work stays the same.
Obviously the coaching is different, and then some players that have left and the new players that have come, but I mean, I think the culture is still the same. Our work on the field is still the same off the field.
We want excellence at everything that we do. And when it's said to be the best women's football club in the world, that means something, and that's real.
That's the team's new head coach, Chris Armas. Former coach Vlatko Andonovski is staying on as the club's global sporting director. The Current have some new threads this season. Okay, look at this. The team unveiled the club's first ever third kit. It is navy blue with streaks of teal. Both the teal and red kits are still in the lineup. The players will wear these new Storm kits during specific matches this season, which means there's a chance we could see players wearing them at the team's home opener. That is coming up Saturday, March 14th. Kickoff against the Utah Royals is at 3 that afternoon at CP Casey Stadium. It is 12:48 on the Friday of a very busy weekend ahead. Nick Bender has been keeping a close eye on the forecast. Nick, I know you've been to the Weather Center just checking the latest on the models. Has there been any changes as to what future scan could look like? I know we've got some precipitation expected in the coming days.
We do, Jamie. There hasn't been a lot of change, and that's a good thing. There hasn't been a lot of change with a forecast that promises a lot of uncertainty as far as the type of precipitation, exactly where and exactly when. So there are still some uncertainties, but there are a lot of things that we are confident in. And we are confident in a wintry mix of freezing rain, sleet, and snow on Sunday. And the peak time for that wintry mix would be late in the afternoon and evening. I'll include in there Sunday night. So not Sunday morning or even in the early afternoon, but later in the day as temperatures have the most likely chance of dropping below freezing. That's when you'll see a transition over to this light wintry mix, especially for communities and counties along and north of Interstate 70. So that includes Kansas City. South of Kansas City, the most likely type of precipitation is rain Sunday afternoon, even into Sunday evening. Next week, it will remain wet and stormy. No longer concerned with wintry precipitation, but bouts of rain and thunderstorms. And we'll monitor the severe weather potential closely, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. For now, the risk of severe weather next week is low. But it's March, and it has a March pattern to it. There's moisture, there's lift, so there's some check marks there for stronger storms. 12-hour forecast for the rest of the day. Warm, windy, challenging a record high temperature. The fire danger will remain high until the winds die down at sunset. And I want to emphasize this about tomorrow on the First Alert 9-day forecast. It will be sunny, dry, and warm. 68 degrees. This front's coming in slower, so we'll still enjoy another spring-like day on Saturday. But on Sunday, much colder. 27 in the morning, but remember, that precipitation doesn't start until Sunday afternoon, when a lot of the temperatures will be near or above freezing. So I'm not concerned about any impacts for church plans early Sunday morning. But this is noon on Sunday. From noon until 6 o'clock, that's when a combination of rain and wintry precipitation will begin. That's also when I have the greatest uncertainty on exactly where the rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow line will be. I think it's going to be Interstate 70 to the north for the wintry stuff. And then for the rest of Sunday evening into Sunday night, bouts of light wintry precipitation ending by sunrise on Monday. And the million-dollar question right now is what kind of impacts is this going to have on the roads or school Monday morning? If there's some slick spots and temperatures are below freezing Sunday night, it is very possible that there's still some slick spots remaining for Monday morning, even though there will be no freezing rain, sleet, or snow on Monday. There is a chance of rain Monday afternoon, temperatures above freezing. Then we begin our stormy pattern on Tuesday, Wednesday. Those are impact days. Bouts of rain and storms are likely on those days, and a chance of rain and thunderstorms will continue through the end of next week into the following weekend. There could be several inches of rain added up in your community over that stretch of time. Let me bring you back to the impact day on Sunday. I want to show you the ice and snow forecasts. Ice amounts through 6 o'clock in the evening on Sunday, not much, but from 6 o'clock in the evening through Sunday night, a few 1/100ths of an inch. That would be enough to result in slick spots on the roads by Sunday morning. Snowfall amounts, this is mainly going to be along North Interstate 70. Again, 6 o'clock in the evening, not much there in Kansas City. Then from 6 o'clock in the evening to Sunday night, we might get an inch of snow in the metro. 1 to 2 inches of snow expected along and north of 36 Highway up to the Iowa border. We'll be right back.
Tonight, the city of Shawnee is hosting Kids Night Out at the Shawnee Civic Center. Kids aged 5 to 12 can enjoy dinner, games, crafts, and a movie while parents get time to themselves. It runs from 6 to 9 and costs $25 per kid. A Kansas City barbecue legacy is being honored this month. Q39 is bringing back Rob's Reuben for Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. It's in memory of co-founder and pitmaster Rob McGee, who passed away from the disease in 2021. A portion of the proceeds benefit cancer research at the KU Cancer Center, and on March 6th, the community is encouraged to wear blue and schedule a screening. This afternoon, we are continuing to follow that breaking news out of Kansas City, Missouri. Police tell us 2 individuals were shot and an officer was injured in the process. This happened near Bales and Windsor Avenues, right in front of the New Beginning Apostolic Church. Right now, it is still unclear how that officer was injured, but our crew is on scene working to get updates. You can look for more reports starting on KMBC 9 News at 4 o'clock.
Jamie, the rest of today and tomorrow will be very warm, dry, and windy days with sunshine. So today and tomorrow, not anticipating any impacts on Saturday. Sunday is our impact day. It will be much colder. Rain and a wintry mix of freezing rain, sleet, and snow will begin early Sunday afternoon. The peak time for wintry precipitation will be late Sunday afternoon, leaning more towards Sunday evening into Sunday night, especially for communities and counties along and north of Interstate 70. So that includes Kansas City. Ice amounts, a few 1/100ths of an inch here in the metro and just about everywhere else. Snowfall amounts here in Kansas City, less than an inch, 1 to 2 inches for northern Missouri. But it's that combination and the timing, which again would be Sunday evening and night, that could have some impacts on Monday morning's plans.
Okay, that's something we're going to pay close attention to, Nick. Thank you. And thank you for spending your noon hour with us. We'll have the latest breaking news coming up at 4 o'clock. But thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.